Okay. Let's see how it sounds. I really need to freaking edit, but I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually. Okay, we sound pretty good. We sound alright. I need to... Okay. It's not like in my mouth, but it's pretty close. I feel like if it's out here, it's a comfortable distance, but I don't think you can hear it very well. Here is too close though. Right here is fine, I think. It doesn't really matter. I'm probably just overanalyzing like usual. Okie doke. Welcome to the stream. We've got varying topics. I wouldn't say any of them are exactly light. So we might need to find the palate cleanser because this stuff's kind of tough. But I am opening an Etsy shop eventually. I think it's gonna be called Tales of Yarn and Clay. So look out for that whenever that happens. Fingers crossed soon. But I said the same thing about long form content. I did it eventually though. So here I am. Okie doke. Let's just get right into the news. Keemstar's gonna sue me if I keep using that. But it's fine. What is the confetti for? Or something? Okay. I don't even know this, cause like we can for a little bit. They repeat the same things that they've already said many times. If you aren't familiar, Wings from LoLcow Live podcast, Wings of Redemption, had an incident where he pushed his wife on stream. It's a really bad look. And recently he returned to the internet and said a lot of shit I guess he shouldn't have said, according to Keem and Boogie. So here is that.
I'd have to poop. There's all kinds of variables that go into it. I usually weigh myself for the first thing I get up and after the morning tinkle. That's usually how I do it. But that's the reason I took all my shit off, right? And I would.
That's pretty accurate.
I go back out.
I don't really think you shoved him.
Not gonna listen to Wings talk about shitting.
I think he's right to realize you didn't.
No, you can go back to the footage and see that I did not shove him. He pushed me, and as soon as I was being
agree. I agree. I don't think Keemstar pushed him at all. I think if anything, Keemstar tried to stop him and wait. But I think even at some point, I think even at some point they show a, like, for one, they show the clip, and they show a clip of, like, Wink saying something to the effect of, like, he thought Keem had pushed him. And he was, like, in a red hot, like, fugue kind of state. Those were not his exact words, but he thought that he had pushed him, or he thought that Keem had pushed him, so he pushed him back. But
Pushed. I put my hand up on his throat to have one swing hand free in case it was going down. That's exactly what I did. You know? But anyhow.
I hear them basically talking trash, saying I dig deeper holes and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over there, and I did it in the wrong manner, right? I kind of like was walking fast because I was ill with them, and everybody took that as me going over there to start shit again. And they started like holding me back and everything like that. So I started like, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a guy in front of me. His name was Ken. Ken's this big ass motherfucker. He's like 6'5", 250 pounds, former military. And like, if I want to get what I want to say in, I'm about to get past this dude. So I started like pushing my shoulder down and like pushing through Ken. And then everybody starts grabbing me. And once they start grabbing me, I'm trying to like shake him off, and you know what happened. Basically, I let my personal vendetta and rage get the best of me, and it put somebody I hurt, somebody I
so
love.
eventually Keem basically says it's like, you guys should have come to me or about this, like, and shouldn't have said anything. I'm unaware of like what part of the NDA he broke, but apparently NDA that they had set in place.
Hands wife off the wheel or whatever. Not a great clip, but it's not like career ending, right? But motherfucker, you should never do that. There's so many better ways to have done that.
Yeah.
It's weird how like Boogie cooks sometimes. But he also like, don't listen to Boogie ever. Don't ever take his advice on anything for anything. Just don't.
He then says that he doesn't feel like we betrayed him with that clip. He feels
I
like
feel like I got
Twiggy
betrayed, but it
would
wasn't by
have.
Keemstar or Boogie, right? They're doing what like I got betrayed, but it wasn't by Keemstar or Boogie, right? They're doing what they got to do to protect their career and their money. The person I feel like I got betrayed by was the person who recorded it. It goes by the name of Twiggy, right? Because like, here's the thing: like, as soon as Twiggy decided to show that video to Keemstar, at that point, if Keemstar decided to avoid it, now you have a variable out there. And like, okay, this video's out there. People seen this video. Why? How are they going to blackmail me with it? Are they going to hold it over my head? Whatever. I think the video coming out was the best result possible, because like, it's a big nothing burger. Like it's just a huge.
So he still sees the car slapping video as a nothing burger. Doesn't blame us for it.
Just quickly on that one. How did Twiggy approach you with the video? Because people said that he held on to it for the most opportune moment. But when I talked to him, he felt really uncomfortable about having it. And I don't think he held on. Like, I don't want to believe he held on to it, but I wanted to know, just so that people know how he actually brought it up to you.
He was telling everyone about the footage he has. Like, before the incident took place, like before Wings even pushed Kelly, pushed me, anything, he was saying, hey, I recorded Wings and Kelly on the way to Fat Camp, and they were arguing and fighting. And I got so much footage. And at one point, it got ugly. Like, he was telling everyone.
He told me he told me at the beginning of Fat Camp, he's like, yeah, I was trying to vlog down here. The footage is entirely unusable. All they did was argue from the moment we left to the moment we got here.
So then,
I was like, okay.
So then this is what happens, Rostov, right?
Okay. So, like, this video clearly was already in the... I feel like we already, like I said, they go over all... and they've already talked about, like, I don't know. The footage was clearly, like, a big deal, and, like, they had talked about it prior, and, like, not to try to protect Wings, but, like, they didn't know how to approach it, it seems like, and, like, didn't... It seemed like a big deal, but they didn't know for sure, like, how big of a deal it was, I guess. If that makes sense. I don't know. I also don't think it matters at this point. Like, Wings probably just needs to take a break. Like, I don't think he needs to go back on LoLcow. I like don't think he ever did. I don't think he needed to do the punishments that Keem wanted him to do, even though yeah, that would have been entertaining. But like that's not what needs to happen. Like he needs to go to therapy and maybe try to mend things with his wife. And if that doesn't work, then he needs to be by himself for a while and heal. So it's the boring answer, I guess, but it's the most practical and the one that would actually do like give the most benefit to the ones involved, especially the people that have been hurt, like Boogie's wife, or excuse me, not Boogie's wife, Wing's wife. I was looking at Boogie. Him and Desiree aren't married, I don't think, but he says that all the time. Like, if my wife, he calls her wife, so I don't know. Maybe they're engaged, I'm not sure. Pow.
After he pushes Kelly, after he pushes me, after he leaves, then Twiggy's bringing up the footage again that he has, and everyone's like, oh, now we want to see this. You know what I mean? Because we want to know if we're dealing with someone that's actually, like, does domestic violence. And so I think John went and grabbed the clip, edited it up so we could all watch it in the theater room, and we all saw it, and we all had the same opinion. Yes, Kelly doesn't have a black eye. Yes, Kelly doesn't have a broken arm. But it's still laying hands on your wife.
Super chatted $20.27. This is why you told Wings to stay offline. He came back and got in positions to do stupid shit like this.
Yup.
So you don't, like, it wasn't like a malicious, like, let's fuck him over sort of thing. He was just like a, holy crap, this was bad, like, here it is.
Yeah.
It's the same as when I told Keemstar about them fighting in the Airbnb in up in Buffalo, right? I told him about that just almost anecdotally, right? You're like, yeah, they got into a really bad fight this morning. I think Jordy might be in a bad mood, right? That's it. I don't think Twiggy was like trying to put the guy on blast or fucking sell him out.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify because people are saying he did it maliciously to fuck him over and like make himself look better, but I didn't believe that. So I just wanted to actually get you to say
I don't think that's what happened.
And then here's them talking about the push again, I guess.
I don't see how that
For
would
the
make
rest of
him
your
look
life.
better. I don't
If you're in a public place, if you're alone at the grocery store with your wife in an aisle alone, presume every word you speak will be recorded and played back by Mr. YOLO Dick Swagger or all these other mother pieces of shit. That's how it is for the rest of your life. You just need to presume everything you say is going.
That's a pretty fair take, I think. Yeah, that's pretty fair. You're a LoLcow, so.
Is going to be recorded and scrutinized forever. Just accept that.
I can literally watch that clip and instantly see the meme. The meme. Instantly. I knew if I got in front of him, he wasn't going to hurt me, and then clip of her getting thrown on the table. Like, it's not simple.
That's exactly what it got posted up as too.
We need to watch that. It's pretty crazy, actually.
You can, there's so many better ways to have done that.
Yeah. He then says that he doesn't feel like we betrayed him with that clip. He feels like Twiggy would have.
Why? How are they going to?
Trying to vlog down here the
theater room, and we all saw.
Like, yeah, they got into a really bad fight this morning. I think Jordy.
Oh, I can play Rainbow Six and talk about my personal finances, about LoLcow Live. No one's going to record me. No one's going to send it to one of my detractors. Like, you guys don't understand the internet at all. You're never going to. And this is why Wings has been a LoLcow for a fucking, like, since 2017, almost a decade. It's because he doesn't understand the internet. He doesn't. Anyhow,
I told him on the phone today the best advice that anyone could give him right now. And Jordy, if you're listening, let me reiterate, because I'm not screaming this time, so maybe you can hear it a little clearer. For the rest of your life, if you're in a public place, if you're alone at the grocery store with your wife in an aisle alone, presume.
apologize because it's white screening my pull up.
And what happened was we were in between the table and the couch, so there was little space. So why I said I tripped was because when I was bumped, I felt my feet come up and hit the table, and I tripped on the table legs and flipped back. That's why I said I tripped. Obviously, when you look a little bit more, it does show.
She looks like she has been sobbing for hours. That could just be me. I guess it could be allergies or something. But her nose is like really red, and it looks like she's been crying.
Dude,
it's so bad.
Like, listen to what I'm telling you. It's no, Keemstar don't know shit. Let me tell you the $32,000 mistake you made, buddy. We could go live in a field over at Lord Rush for.
Why I said I tripped was because when I was. Why I said I tripped was because when I was.
Mistake you made, buddy. We could go live in a field over at Lord Rush for fucking 2 weeks. You know, like, dude, it's always Keemstar's a complete fucking idiot, and I know better, and I'm so sick of it.
In front of him. And what happened was we were in between the table and the couch, so there was little space. So why I said I tripped was because when I was bumped, I felt my feet come up and hit the table. And
this is very sad. I'm sorry.
Tripped on the table legs and flipped back. That's why I said I tripped. Obviously, when you look a little bit more, it does show that I tripped. There's a reason I tripped, but it wasn't intentionally, and you can tell the moment he realizes who he had pushed.
Well, she's saying this now. I mean, you guys are not giving her time to explain herself. Here, the truth of the fact is this. I was mad.
Kelly, when he pushed you, your legs were up against the table, so you fell. That's the truth. When he pushed you, your legs were against the table, which caused you to instantly fall back. You couldn't put your feet back to stop you from falling over because they were up against the table. When you say, I tripped, that's retarded, and you're going to get memed.
I literally, you can go back and watch the video frame by frame if you want to. I was pushing into Ken's stomach, and I pushed through it.
I don't condone calling this this woman the R word. I mean, I understand, like, they're getting frustrated. I mean, but this unfortunately happens all the time. Even, like, whether, like, on bigger scales than this or on even smaller scales than this. You know, wives have defended their husbands, and vice versa. Husbands have defended their wives. People have defended their spouses for much worse, unfortunately, towards them and other people. Actions towards them and other people. So I hate to use the term because it's just a gross term, but it's like the people battered wife syndrome or whatever. I don't like that term. So it's not exactly what I mean, I don't think either. But she just, it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome, I guess you could say. She's a lot of people is coming from experience, protects their abuser, like a lot. So I don't know if it's fair for her to be reaching and grasping for straws to try to defend him and put reason behind what he did. I don't know if it's fair to call her dumb for that, because a lot of people do it, and it's sad that she feels that she has to, and that sad, really.
Through it. Kid behind the camera initially grabs my left arm, which I didn't know this at the time. I just felt like a bunch of people grabbing onto me. But like basically, Ken had me by my midsection. I had kid behind the camera on my left arm. I had Kelly on my right arm, which I didn't know who grabbed me in the long run. Like I just know a bunch of people were grabbing on me, and they thought I was going to attack Boogie when I really wanted to yell at her. I mean, like yell at him. And I was kind of pushing, and when I broke free of Ken, like my very first thing was like push off, because I had like my clipper case in this hand, and I basically pushed off like this, and that momentum like just kind of like made her hit the table, and the table just like swept her. I know it looks worse than that, and it looks like I just like power bombed her onto the table, but like a lot of that was just gravity doing its thing. Let me
Jesus Christ, he's so bad at this. Jordy, again, the only thing you can and should say in this situation.
Piss poor response for sure. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. It's a horrible response. But I don't know what else. I mean, I guess you expect him to stick with the original response he initially gave, but I don't think he's gonna. He saw an opportunity to be able to try to obfuscate and go around what happened and maybe not take full accountability, and he took it. So.
Situation is, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm doing everything I can to fix it with my relationship with my wife. Any of this fucking mitigating it, gravity did its thing. Yeah, gravity does its thing when you shove somebody. The gravity takes over because they lose their balance. Like, there's nothing that you're saying right now that is good to say. Either don't say anything or say, I'm taking full accountability. I fucked up and I'm sorry. Those are your two options. All the rest of this is just feeding
really was
the trolls.
35-mile-an-hour gust of wind, dude.
Guys, Jordy put out a fucking statement that we read on his personal Twitter. That statement
Eric
is
super
now
chatted
bullshit.
$20.
Throw the
Can
statement
we get
away.
the Kelly push in slow motion, please?
The statement, yes, we will, Eric. Thank you. The statement that Wings put out on his personal Twitter, throw it in the garbage. It means nothing now. He put out a statement taking accountability, and then his first stream back, he's like, yeah, gravity took its course, bro. Like, what? What are you doing?
Immediately contradicts it. It's so frustrating.
Here's the clip for context, ladies and gentlemen. The clip for context.
I don't want to watch this. It's sad.
Slow it down. He asked for it in slow-mo. I want to see it in slow-mo.
Okay. Speed, 25%. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Look at his face. He looks deranged.
What are we doing? All right.
The gravity took over once you shoved her off balance.
Looking straight at her and yelling at her. Like, what are we doing?
Well, keep playing it. Because I'll tell you one of the things I've taken the most issue with. And I'd like to just get it out the fucking way. Okay? Put it back to regular speed. And just let it keep playing. Because there's two things that bother me the most. And I'll get it out and I'll fucking get it over with. The first of which is, clearly, at this point, you know who it is, right? Let it keep playing. Let it keep playing. If that was my wife on the ground, first thing I would do would pick her up and like fucking try to help her.
He's saying stop, but he's like pushing her. He's saying stop. Like it clearly, like it looks like he knows what he's doing.
And try to fix it, right? He doesn't do that. And in fact, like 30 seconds later, he yells at her, I told you not to get in my way, or at least says that in her face. He claims he didn't yell. It sounded like he yelled at me, but whatever. Like, you got to check on your wife. You got to talk to her. You got to, like, motherfucker, it's so frustrating. He said to me on the phone today, you guys painted me as a wife beater. No, this did. This did. This is all that needed to exist. This alone, for the rest of your life, people are going to think you abuse your wife based on just this.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, Wings, all right? Putting out a statement on your personal Twitter saying, hey, I take accountability. What I did was wrong. And then your very next live stream back saying, hey, people were holding me. My arms finally got free. All right.
I guess
she tripped on the table.
He's just trying to find any way to obfuscate from the actual truth. We'll watch a little bit more of this, and then I think we've got the point.
Maybe saying these things on your personal stream was a really good idea, because not only does it look like you're not taking accountability, but also makes you look like a fucking liar, because we have video proof that that didn't happen. And also you put out a statement taking accountability before, which now gets thrown away. This is all very bad for Wings of Redemption, his brand, everything. And then somehow, some way, there are two people in Conway, South Carolina right now that are blaming me right now for this, that it's my fault.
Keem gets mad later on because somebody's like, Keem started making it about himself. He's like, it's my. He's like, it's about Boogie. Yes, technically, yeah. The whole situation with like it happening on your show and that part, yeah, that is about you. You telling him he can't come back on, yeah, that has to do with you. But in terms of like I think they mean like you. I don't know. It's definitely more of like a them two situation for sure. Like it's their marriage. It's really more on Kelly than anybody else. Like she is the one that's going through it, so it's a her situation. Not even a wing situation. Oh. Um. Yes, she was talking about the clip where he pushed her down. Invader Zach, I don't know what you said, buddy, but it's all good. Um. Doo-doo. Yeah, they're talking about the clip that he's pushing him down. Okay. Let's get into this nonsense. So I just wanted to watch a little bit of this video, not a lot of it at all. To pretty much understand the lawsuit better. Noah Samson lawsuit. So let's watch video. This video came out 9 days ago. This was basically like him doubling down on his other video. So, which was YouTubers supporting genocide. That included Ethan, Tom, Mudahar, a couple other people. I want to say Asmongold, I think. Really don't remember. Destiny was one of them. So, Mudahar and H3 though have, well, Ethan Klein and Mudahar have started to take action legally. So.
Since I released my video, The YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide, there have been some developments. Ethan Klein responded to the video with an Instagram story shortly after its release, where he wrote, "God, these bread tubers are such pathetic fucking rats. When the fuck did I ever support a genocide? I criticize your idol Hasan, and you all resort to straight up character assassination and horrific lies. A campaign which resulted in the CPS call and harassment like I've never experienced in my 15 years on YouTube. Fuck you and fuck your movement. Socialism deserves better representatives." Soon after this post,
Why would you show that post? Why? Be like, okay, yeah, this is like my main detractor, and he's currently. Here's something him say. Here's something that he's saying that is basically saying that everybody should think fairly and think about my children, and what they're doing is ridiculous and out of hand and out of pocket. But and here's him being completely sensible. Within the first what? Fucking 30 seconds? Dude. Why?
Ethan brought my video up during his live show where he threatened to sue me.
So this fucking little scumbag here who put me and Mudahar...
Why did he even show that? Like, he doesn't even say. It just makes Ethan look like he knows what he's talking. Like, what?
Turkey Tom and Destiny in a thumbnail and said the YouTubers who backed a genocide. This is fucking disgusting, and I'm not okay living in this world where these little fucking punk ass scumbags can just say this shit and get away with it. Like accusing people, usually defamation can be all different types of things. Someone supporting genocide, we throw this term around a lot. That's one of the most, I mean, can you say something more fucked up about somebody than that? Sounds pretty defamatory. And again, I'm not taking any prisoners. If my attorney thinks there's anything in here, if he thinks that there's like a decent shot of defamation, I'm suing this fucking piece of shit, this little scumbag.
So he is threatening to sue me for defamation on the grounds that accusing someone of supporting genocide is messed up. I can think of something even more messed up than accusing someone of supporting genocide, which is, you know, actually supporting genocide. I can't imagine that it's pleasant to be confronted with the idea that you might be supporting a genocide, so the instinct here to deflect and deny without even offering any sort of actual defense against the points is an entirely predictable response. This is how the liberal media class will operate in the coming decades when it's time to answer for their crimes of manufacturing consent for a genocide. They will simply say, no.
I don't know how many times I can hear the word genocide. It really feels like at one point he's just kind
of against the points is an entirely predictable response. This is how the liberal media class will operate in the coming decades when it's time to answer for their crimes of manufacturing consent for a genocide. They will simply say, no, I didn't. If they say anything at all, most of them won't. It's happened throughout history. It happened with the Vietnam War. It happened with the invasion.
hey, or just a thought that I had. Hey, or when somebody says that they didn't do something doing, maybe it's because they didn't fucking do it. Maybe that's why. Anyway, I think I'm literally done with this video. I am 2 minutes in. I'm fucking done with it. I don't care. None of them want to watch any of the shit that they cover. I'm not fucking watching this. Ugh. I hate it.
Invasion of
Much worse when I have to watch Badempanada. I don't want to fucking do that, dude. I hate that guy. Like, I hate him. I had heard about that guy around. He's so fucking insufferable. His takes and just the way he acts. He's so pompous, and he's just. I do not like Badempanada.
Invasion of Iraq, and it'll happen again.
Just my personal opinion from what I have seen of him on the internet. That's all.
With Gaza. What makes Gaza a bit different, though, is that unlike prior US-backed atrocities abroad, we all know what's been happening there the entire time. Israel's genocide of Palestinians in Gaza has been called the first ever live-streamed genocide because we've seen the entire thing as it's happened with high-definition cell phone video. The mass destruction, the ruthless attacks on the healthcare system, the deliberate targeting of men, women,
it's horrible. No one has ever denied that it's horrible. I don't think anybody has supported it either, my guy.
Why you decided to do this?
Well, I decided to do it because I want to say since he dropped his videos, the first one with my face in the thumbnail, I have not stopped seeing it in the comment section for every video. So clearly it's just been sort of like a thing that's stuck in the audience. I think ever since I reactivated Twitter, it's been filled with the mentions of like, you're a genocide supporter, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, obviously that's caused impact to my channel. It's obviously, you know, like people, I mean, you see that in the comment sections, it's bad. But then in reality land, right? Like this is the first time I had to like completely miss out on like eat prayers and all this stuff. Just because I don't really get into my community anymore. So, you know, I don't really see my family much anymore, just to keep them away from me while this is kind of raging. I've got my own community that, you know,
I think I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to skip ahead on this fucking bullshit, though.
The US government, which is an issue if you want to be protesting privacy laws. Proton got started with a public crowdfunding campaign and is owned by the Proton Foundation, which is a nonprofit dedicated to ensuring privacy and data protection. Sign up for free using my link at proton.me/Noah Samson to protect your privacy and also support the channel. All right, back to the video now. In this Instagram story, Ethan asks the question, when did I ever support a genocide?
When did we ever back a genocide?
I'm sorry.
When?
I'm also curious.
Like, show me.
I have an answer to that.
Please. I asked for this earlier. I'm so glad I skipped ahead to this. Please. Please show me. Please. I really do. I want to know what you mean.
Let's go over it once again. Ethan Klein was the primary signal booster for the smear campaign against pro-Palestine activists that was orchestrated by a group of openly genocidal Zionists during the active genocide of Palestinians in Gaza. Every point raised in his content nuke video was borrowed directly from Destiny and his community regarding Hasan's alleged terrorism support, his alleged anti-Semitism, and his alleged extremist views.
Hasan uncritically interviewed this kid for about an hour. It was the most brazen display of disgusting terrorist propaganda that I have made.
I'm sorry. This is Destiny talking about Ethan speaking on... Okay. So, I'm actually going to try to use a really good... I think I have a pretty good example for this, actually. So whenever the nuke came out, at the same exact time, I was streaming the nuke. And so, I was streaming about the nuke and like what had happened after the fact and how people had responded to it. And so I had happened to see while I was streaming that... This was before Ethan had even said anything else about it. That Ryan Beard had also posted his own nuke about Destiny. Literally at the same time. And so there was literally a point, and I was also streaming at this point. There was a point where Destiny was reacting to the Ethan Hasan nuke, and Hasan was reacting to the Ryan Beard Destiny nuke. So they were both reacting to fucking nukes about each other, and while the other ones were having these big nuke, like it was just fucking ridiculous. So in terms of involving Destiny at all in this with Ethan and saying that's when Ethan was supporting, that is crazy. That is crazy. So you're saying he is a genocide supporter because Destiny associated himself with Ethan and Ethan's content after the fact to try to save his own face, having nothing to do with Ethan, because this is Destiny saying Ethan speaks on the Houthi terrorists that Hasan has interviewed. I'm gonna see these other things that he...
Of Palestinians in Gaza. Every point raised in his content nuke video was borrowed directly from Destiny and his community.
Shit.
Of Palestinians in Gaza. Every point raised in his content nuke video was borrowed directly from Destiny and his community.
Hasan might have Bernie Sanders on Monday. You know what to send emails to his staff. The most obvious terrorist clips. Hezbollah, the Hamas rapes, or our words, I'm sorry. Made hostages hate America. This is not exact. Ethan has not said exactly this at all. By talking points, by what he... Okay. So him saying that Ethan and Destiny are saying the same talking points is him saying that they have both mentioned the fucked up shit that Hasan has said or done. I have also said some of the fucked up shit that Hasan has said or done. Does that make me in line with Destiny? Am I Destiny's best friend? That's fucking crazy, because you think I'd have way more clout from that than I do. I don't understand the thought process here. That's actually, like, unhinged and makes no sense. You have to really, like, be around to come to that conclusion. I don't understand.
And his community regarding Hasan.
Ethan speaks on the Houthi terrorists Hasan interviewed. That's the one I just read. Freaking missing, dude.
Hasan's alleged terrorism.
Did he show that twice? Or am I crazy? Oh, he shows.
Of Palestinians in Gaza. Every point raised in his content nuke video was borrowed directly from Destiny and his community
Once.
regarding Hasan's alleged terrorism.
Hasan before he became a terrorist sympathizer. I also think he's a terrorist sympathizer. I don't agree with Destiny though. Thing else really, and I'm not even saying that I took that take from Destiny. I had that take before I saw that Destiny had that take. So two people can think the same thing, and those people not be friends.
Terrorism support.
Not be friends that also could disagree with each other on 90% of everything else. 90% of everything else. I need to stop mumbling. Some weird with Twitch and not letting you create new accounts in Israel. That was just a big fucking story. I saw a bunch of people talking about that, not just Destiny at the time. So, but sure, Ethan's in cahoots. That's fucking nuts. And that's why he supports genocide? That's crazy, dog. You need to get your shit straight. You are about to go to court. You're fucked. You're fucked, dude. That's fucking crazy. You're so fucked. That doesn't even make any sense. What you're saying. You're so fucked. You're so fucked.
Support his alleged anti-Semitism.
Just confirmed Israel IPs are indeed banned from Twitch. Again, everybody was talking about
and
that.
his alleged extremist
Twitch ban on Israel future major
views.
Hasan.
Hasan's favorite terrorist group is having a Luffy moment. Everybody.
Uncritically.
Hasan is the one that called him Luffy. That started with Hasan, not Destiny. Twice. Why? He shows this tweet twice. Is it because Destiny is saying Ethan's name? And he's trying to be like, see, they are friends. They talk. They talked about how I told him to post this. I told him to say this. Is that what he's trying to say? Because clearly this is posted after Ethan talks about Hasan interviewing a Houthi terrorist. I don't understand. See if anybody else is there and wants. Oh, my mic keeps cutting out? Is it a pre-recorded stream? No, it is not a pre-recorded stream. I am reading your comment right now. Definitely not pre- Oh my god, dude. That would be awesome. No, I guess my mic just cuts out. I don't know why my mic's cutting out. I noticed that when I was trying to edit, actually, the other day. Sorry about that. I hope it's not, like, fucking things up too much. If it does, I can just use my laptop mic, I guess. No, these people do not stop. It's getting fucking ridiculous. The whole thing with, like, the whole Destiny thing, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. But no, Eric Timothy. This is not a pre-recorded stream. It's right here, right now, stream. Oh, good. I hate those pre-recorded streams on YouTube Shorts, like the ones where it's like ASMR or like the doll, like a doll head, like someone decapitating a doll head, and then they're like, there it is, and then and then they do it again, and it's over and over and over. Probably, I have to like get out of the habit of mumbling, and I need to enunciate more. It's something that I'm trying to work on, especially since I'm streaming. That's probably what it was. I think it does sound better than my laptop mic. But yeah, why did he say that twice? What does that even prove? It proves that Destiny was trying to hop on the Ethan bandwagon to make himself look better because so what you're saying is this is how I look at it, okay? Destiny is a fucking degen, right? He's a fucking degenerate. So Destiny is trying to hop on the same bandwagon as Ethan because they have similar points at times when it comes to Hasan, because they are because Hasan is Hasan. And so he tries to hop on the Ethan bandwagon to make himself and his points look not dumb and make himself maybe look less like a degenerate because Ethan is, somebody who is sensible. Sensible? Is that what you're trying to like? That's how I look at it. I don't know if that's the point he's trying to get across. I would say probably not. But I really think that that's what it is. Yeah, it does pick up like everything else going on around. That's fine. Yeah, I understand. If you're of the opinion of people shouldn't support genocide, then I am also of that opinion with you. I just don't think Ethan did. I suppose that I don't think Ethan did, and I don't think Mudahar did, and to be honest, I wonder if I don't know. I know nothing about really anything else that anybody else has said in terms of people being accused of supporting the genocide. Now, I do think it's silly to say that Ethan himself is supporting the genocide whenever your proof of that is that Destiny is associating himself with him. Not even the other way around, like not even Ethan associating himself with Destiny. It's like, so I don't get that, but oh, you're fine. I'm glad you're here. Especially I'm glad that you're nice and you're here. I've had a lot of people that disagree with me that are not as nice, so if we cannot have the same opinion, you're more than welcome to be here, as long as you're not rude, to me or anybody else. Which you're not. You seem very nice. I actually welcome other opinions because it's easier to stream and like if you have another take to bounce off of rather than just your own. It also helps with like people accusing like the echo chamber mentality with me. It's like I really don't think I'm in an echo chamber. I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Even in like this, like I tried to hear Noah out. And because I have been wondering exactly like when or what Ethan said that would say that he supported genocide, and I frankly still don't see it. And I think the what he's using is just silly.
Interviewed this kid for about an hour. It was the most brazen display of disgusting terrorist propaganda that I have maybe ever seen in Western media. Okay, fine. He likes Hamas. He watches their propaganda, but he's not going to deny the violent rapes that took place. That is way beyond the pale.
Ethan himself, in this very stream, reveals that he is aware of Destiny's comments that openly endorse the genocide of Palestinians.
The only person he's probably not defaming here would be Destiny because of his comment about, he said, I believe in genocide. He said, I think, and during one conversation, like that the Palestinians should just leave.
I'm very glad that he put that clip in because I have seen this episode of H3 and completely had forgotten that Ethan had said that Destiny had done that, so. And I actually am going to back up because I want to know exactly what Destiny said.
Defaming here would be Destiny because of his comment about, he said, I believe in genocide. He said, I think, and during one conversation, like that the Palestinians should just leave.
I do remember that.
So if you're talking about...
I actually do remember that now. I do remember that. He actually did say that. So yeah, Destiny is a genocide supporting monster. And just because somebody take on something as him doesn't mean that, for one, that they're best friends and they're in cahoots on anything. And for two, doesn't mean that they completely agree overall on anything or any of it. Like, they could just have some overlapping opinions on people denying our words, which... The video of Denham's responding to the nuke and even, I think, Noah, I'm pretty sure, it just infuriates me. The one part where there's an actual person being interviewed talking about how people that she knows have been in those attacks, and then it cuts to somebody that had actually been attacked, and they still just they look at those people as they are saying these things and they say, nope. Actually, no. And that fucking infuriates me and confuses me to no end. For someone who just liked to watch it casually, it seemed like Ethan started to become more hateful. I could see why you would say that. I really could. I think it's... I would say I would think that he has gotten way more serious. I think is what it is. I think is what you're picking up on. I could be wrong though. Feels like he's becoming Ryan Kavanaugh because of the defamation suit. Well, I feel like one has more legs than the other. But I don't know. I think that he's starting to become more serious and he's starting to defend himself more. I think that's probably comes with age, right? Like he's getting older, and so he's like starting to not want to put up with the bullshit. You know, he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say what I say and think what I think, and if that's a problem, it's a problem. And sometimes I think it can be, but I think that I think most of the time he's joking. But I really, yeah. I think that it's just he's gotten older and he's gotten more serious about certain things, and he also wants to be more political. He's in his political arc, so he's just become more serious. I think that's a good thing. I think that it gives the podcast... So, from a opposite perspective as you, there was a while... Usually taking the high road seems to be more honorable. Yeah, Ethan's a messy bitch, though. Sorry. I know. I think it really depends, right? Everything is perspective based. Like, for one person, it could be completely justified in why they feel or do something, and for another person, they could be like, well, I wouldn't respond that way, or it's kind of like water off a duck's back to me. And it's like, I get very easily, me personally, this is me speaking personally, I get very easily upset over things that I feel other people wouldn't. I try to, yeah, it's an immature attitude. I'm not trying to say that I am any better. I hold those people to a higher, who are mature enough to hold themselves better. I do get that. I don't know if, I think Ethan is mature, but I think that sometimes he can get carried away, but I think that a lot of people can, and nobody is going to be perfect, especially people on the internet. I feel like, and a lot of people on the internet are very edited versions of themselves. That's one thing I actually like about Ethan, that he's very unedited. Like, he's very raw, other than the button, and that was only recently implemented. So, there's still things that he probably should have buttoned that he hasn't. I mean, but he's just live, and he's there, and I don't know if that makes him like an admirable or sorry, non-honorable. Especially when it comes to defending his kids, because that I think is very honorable. Very honorable. I think he, I don't think that at all, his overreaction. I would be very fucking upset. I'd be very fucking upset if somebody tried to fuck with my life. Especially for one, if I didn't know them, and for two, it was completely unwarranted. Fuck with my kids, fuck with my wife. I don't like it, I don't like when he says things that are wrong, and when the crew tells him he's wrong, he says a joke or brushes it off, and says it doesn't matter. I mean, I think that is him trying to keep the ball rolling and just being a host, and it comes off as callous, because he's just trying to fucking move on, and he doesn't want it, and also it could be like a whole thing of like human nature is to be like, oh fuck, to listen and be like, oh fuck, is that really, they might be making sense there. I should probably keep pushing past. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing either. Which is weird because that's what they yell at Hasan for doing. I'm not saying Hasan doesn't do the same thing. I don't really care if Hasan does that. Personally, that's me. I care about other things that Hasan has done and said. And support, just outright. I don't think Hasan had anything really personally to do with. I know he didn't. The CPS thing. Even Ethan says that Hasan had nothing to do with that. I agree. I think that watching Badempanada though perpetuates that, because Badempanada has said those things, and he has said that people should go and report Ethan to CPS. I don't know if you can sweep something under the rug that's like out on the internet forever. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about it right now. So it's clearly not that swept under the rug. It's not. It's keep pushing past is just trying to. It's like, oh shit, and then let's just move on. It's acknowledged. It's acknowledged in the moment. The crew has already acknowledged it, and I think Ethan's probably just like, fuck, they're probably right. And then's like, what are we talking about now? Which, you know, might be a weird response for people, but it's a response. It's just a human response. I don't think it's inherently good or bad. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know when Hasan has done that. I don't watch Hasan. Doxing is based. Honestly, anonymous internet people are scum trash. And the internet would be a better place if they were more afraid. This is what doxing is to most people. Heinous doxer types famous person's name into LinkedIn. So, and then, what's that bottom one? Why is it doxing to say where public figures work? If you mean addresses, saying anybody's address on the internet, I would say is for sure definitely doxing. Yes. So, I might need to change the title of the thumbnail because this is taking fucking forever where my mic cut out, but let me take a few things off there and fucking do another stream. It's probably what I'll have to do. We'll see how far I get. Oh, it's gonna be annoying though, but it's fine. I just make my thumbnails on Paint anyway. Do I stream and edit? I try to edit them. Most of the time they're unedited though, cause I freaking am lazy. But I really need to start editing them. I can edit. Again, I'm just lazy. It's not hard, it's just time consuming. Is the thing. So, not that I don't have unlimited time right now. Yeah, this will be uploaded onto YouTube and in its full form, and then I might go back and edit it down. I will definitely have to edit this one down because of the... I used to stream on Twitch. I guess I could do it again. I'd probably get better numbers, I would say, but I used to get okay numbers on Twitch. I like YouTube, though. I don't know why I like it better, but I just do. I mean, I get like way less engagement, but I feel like whenever people do come to YouTube, it's like more of a conversation. I feel like it's like people will actually like stay to talk. On Twitch, it seems like people are in and out like a lot more. So, which is fine. I mean, you get more views that way, but do I get mean people here? Yeah, I do sometimes. I get like not necessarily in chat. In chat, I actually get a lot of nice people. Shout out Trevor Eggleston and shout out Invader Zach. Those people are super nice. And then there's a girl from the H3 subreddit as well. That's really nice that comes, but she only has commented on my my shorts and my VODs and stuff. People on stream have always been super nice usually, because I think it's more like personal. It's like they're like, if like I'm right here, it's different than like going back to something I've already uploaded and like being mean to me, because that has happened. But it doesn't hurt my feelings because what they said was like, it was just weird. Like it wasn't even like insulting. They called me a shlomo, which is like, I don't even know. I don't see how that's an insult. And also, like, I'm not Israeli or Jewish, so means nothing to me. Also, and I looked it up. Shlomo means to be peaceable, so they were calling me a peaceable person. I don't think they meant it as a compliment, though, because they were saying very hateful things along with it. Anyway. So here he's saying Ethan's address is available in the second result on Google. He's trying to argue that doxing is okay as long as you're just sharing it. He's trying to give him a taste of his own medicine. I started streaming like consistently probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I've been doing YouTube, and I had a couple of VODs from like I want to say like a year and a half ago or something like that. About like Steiny and fucking Andrew Scholes, that whole that interview that they did. I did a VOD about that, or a stream that was a VOD. It's still on my channel. I disagree with some of the things I said in it because it's been a long time ago, at least in the YouTube world. And now I feel kind of bad for Steiny and think Andrew Scholes is an asshole, but things change. Opinions change. Pretty much is about YouTube news and general news, like in this stream I was gonna cover, I don't think I will now. I'll probably save it for another stream and, like I said, edit my thumbnail and stuff. But I was gonna cover the Ghost Adventures guy. I guess it's technically true crime, but I don't really see it as true crime. It is, but he didn't. Thank God he didn't die. Aaron's a treasure. I like Ghost Adventures, and I think Aaron specifically. Oh my God, what's his last name? Fuck. I just saw it. Anyway, there was like this crazy situation where his wife like tried to hire somebody to kill him. And she's fucking nuts. I was gonna cover that. The top YouTubers I watch are, I'll be honest, H3. I watch a lot of H3, I do. Turkey Tom, I watch some Turkey Tom here and there. I used to watch Tom's streams, Tom Dark streams, a while back. I'm kind of all over the place. I am on the left, but the people that I watch are kind of all over the place. I would say that Tom isn't necessarily on the right, but he's right leaning for sure. I disagree with some of the things he says because we have different values, but I still like his content sometimes. And then, yeah, I love H3. There was a while that I didn't watch H3 though, like a little bit. I don't even remember why now, but I stopped watching and then I got back into him, and now I'm an avid watcher again. I think it had something to do with frenemies and Trish. As dumb as that sounds. But then I also, I don't know if you've ever heard of BJ Investigates or That Surprise Witness. She's pretty cool. She used to be a lawyer, and she reads court documents on stream about different, mostly like conservator cases and stuff. Like yeah. Oh, you haven't heard? I thought you said you had. She's really cool. Bam Margera from Jackass was under conservatorship unwarrantedly. Well, pretty much all of them are unwarrantedly. You shouldn't be able to tell somebody how to live or what to eat or how to breathe or take all their money, regardless of whether you think they're crazy. You shouldn't be able to do that, especially if you're a bank or like an institution like a hospital or a bank or something like that. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. And so she started the Free Bam movement and basically like got him. And she was also like a main voice in the Free Britney movement too. She's really cool. You should look her up. She's neat. There's some things like I don't completely agree with her on either, like but I think that she's really like really cool, and I get where, even if I don't agree with her, I understand where she's coming from. Like recently she put out a video about Ryan Reynolds. Oh, let me see. Recently she put out a video about Ryan Reynolds, and it was. Do I have to like copy the link from? I think I can do that. Oh, we're just type the name. That's way. I keep mistyping because I have slippy fingers. That's her main channel. Oh, that's probably so loud. That's her main channel. Her other channel is called That Surprise Witness, and if you go to this channel, you'll see her other channel, I'm sure. But That Surprise Witness is where she goes over the specific court documents. She's pretty cool. I watch her a lot. And then I also watch this girl named Kyla. But I watch a lot of shit, actually. I watch iKnobber, or so even sometimes. Yeah, they are. They are wild. She's a little wild herself. I love it, though. She a little crazy. Like, not in a bad way, in a cool way. Because she even has, like, a green screen that, like, goes with all of, like, her... I would love to do that. I think that'd be so cool. She's got, like, a green screen for all of her topics on BJ Investigates. Not on That Surprise Witness, just on BJ Investigates. And it's, like, when she was talking about Wobiki being in Africa, it was, like, a safari behind her. She's funny. Oh. So, I am working with a laptop. It's a nice laptop, though. I just got it. I would like to have a mouse, but if you can see, I'm currently not at a desk. So I'd like to get a desk and a mouse, and I'd feel very efficient rather than having to click around on this D-pad. It's like not though. It's a pretty big D-pad, but I thought about getting another screen. Like I said, I have nowhere to set up anything right now, so it's a later thing probably, if at all. Especially with like all these windows I've got open right now. Probably be way better to have multiple screens. Okay, so after Badempanada, even like before, I would say this whole, but I would also say that's because of Badempanada and like other antics related to the situation. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna get another keyboard and mouse and the whole shebang. I use it as a desktop essentially already, but just get the accessories for it. It's a really nice laptop. I just got it. I don't know where the fucking brand is, but Republic of Gamers or something. It's a gaming laptop. Badempanada is more than a little cray. He's very cray. Extremely cray, even some would say. Man, I just dropped bars right there. It's very nice, yeah. I like it a lot. I had a really shitty laptop for a long time. It did the job though. Did what it was supposed to do. It served its purpose. And okay. So he basically started saying everybody go dox Ethan. And then a lot of people went to try to dox Ethan and looked up his address. And this is like the peak. This is when it spiked. Everybody tried to go find Ethan's address. I'm trying to find. Oh, and then he also said, if it's on Google, it's not doxing in quotations. It's gonna backfire so badly on this guy. And then looked at Ethan Klein's credit card, which is, I'm sure Ethan has gotten a new credit card since then. Dummy. But there was one time on a member stream that Ethan accidentally flashed his credit card. But I'm sure he's gotten a new credit card since then. I think that Badempanada is lashing out. I think he's very scared boy. And he's a hypocritical boy as well.
Podcast. He stated my real name no less than 17 times and also showed it on this.
Yeah, Ethan was talking about his address right when he moved into his new house years ago. Yeah, I'm sure it is public. He was mad that this news article posted it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so Badempanada is using that and like trying to get everybody to go check it out and go see that Ethan's address is public information, to use that information maliciously. So, and then he's implying that Ethan was trying to use his name, like people like, and trying to get people to attack him, which I think is completely different than using his name in a negative context and saying his name out loud, and then rather than being like, okay, here's this information, like it's public information, and then you say it out loud, rather than being like, okay, here's this public information that I'm saying out loud. Go check this out, and then do what you will with it. Maybe even go to his house. Like, that's fucking crazy. Oh, that's weird. When did Jeff... Oh, I remember that now, actually. I think I remember what you're talking about. During the Frenemies era, when Jeff went to his house. But... Oh my god, this guy sucks. He's a huge hypocrite. He has doxed people before. But yeah, they're both bad. They're both public information, right? And so I think it's a little different than saying public information and then also saying public information and being like, use this public information maliciously, and then people in turn go in and look up that address that you told them to look up. That's different.
Also
than saying your name, George.
Showed it on the screen a few dozen more times. This is not information that I have ever publicly revealed on my own volition. It has only ever been disseminated via doxing, pretty much the most doxing kind of doxing, in fact. It was taken from government databases by right-wing trolls in Argentina at the end of 2023 and then spread by them. And now Ethan Klein is spreading it as well, in flagrant violation of YouTube's terms of service. And if you're interested...
Are you talking about Badempanada? Or the kid? Oh, the other kid that... Yeah. I don't even know if Ethan was trying to dox it. I was just reading his Instagram profile and got carried away, but I think that was a little silly. I don't think he should have done that, I will say. I think that was a little dumb, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not a big deal. Only because, I mean, it could have gotten a lot worse. He shouldn't have done it. Period. Am I thinking of the same situation? I don't know if I am. I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that was fucked up. He shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he was very angry. He's very mad. That's no excuse, though. He shouldn't lash out and do things out of anger. Well, I get it. I get why, like, why someone would feel that way. At the same time, I think it has to do with what I was saying earlier, where it's like, he is constantly live, and I think that he is the kind of person that, like, lets his feelings, like, take over him. And like you were saying, I think that in those instances, he needs to take heedance from his crew and listen a little better. But he's like a steamroller when he gets going. It's just like a personality trait. I don't even think it's a negative personality trait. It's just a part of who he is. And so, but in terms of like, I think also, and like I could have done the same thing, right? Like with you, for example. Like I could have done this exact same thing that I think that Ethan was doing, and I didn't. So again, I'm gonna say that, you know, it's probably a mistake, and this isn't necessarily an excuse. But when I saw that you know, didn't necessarily feel the same way that I did about the whole situation, I could have immediately written you off as a snarker and been very mad with you, and because of my experience with those people, and I feel like that's probably what happens a lot when Ethan sees hate comments. And even when I pinned this from Trevor, and that's why is he said, "Man, these people don't stop, do they?" And they really don't. He wasn't talking about you, by the way. He was talking about, I believe, Noah Samson. But there was this one snarker that kept coming back. I had multiple snarkers. They can just get really, really, really. It's like a different kind of internet hate. Like, it really is, because they feel completely justified in what they're doing and what they're saying, and how hateful and like they are being, like, so they feel completely justified. They are crazy people. They are. And I think that there are just a lot of them, and it makes it seem like everybody that has a negative take on Ethan is like that, and that's just not the case at all. That's just not the case. And so I think that whenever Ethan's going through fucking Instagram comments and he sees a kid that, you know, might have said something kind of shitty, but not even that bad. I don't even think what that kid said was that bad now that I think of it. It is. Every community has that, but I think it's like, so yeah, I think every community has some semblance of this, but it has gotten like bad. Like very bad. Like I haven't seen. Ethan said this and everybody made fun of him for it, but I mean, I kind of agree. Like, I haven't seen, like, this kind of, like, hate brigade, really. It's a little different. Like, it's going after his kids, and, like, it's fucking crazy. And they really do feel like that they're doing is right and justified. It's insane. I think, like, most people, like, stop at, like, the family, or, like, the career, right? Like, I think most of these crazy people usually, like, try to do career-ending things, usually. in these groups. I have hardly ever seen anybody go after them in a personal matter like this. I think it's bad for a lot of people, but a lot of streamers and YouTubers don't say anything because most of the time it fuels the fire. Well, that's true. And I think that Ethan, there's probably a lot that we didn't see, right? Like a lot of Ethan taking shit and taking shit and taking shit, and eventually anybody is going to explode. Ethan's been on the internet for a long time, and I'm sure that he has gotten so much hate in the past. And there's probably a reason that this is like the one that he is staunchly like brigading against. For all the streamers, Ethan got swatted. Ethan got swatted really bad, actually. Who get swatted and don't say anything because that's what those people want. They want to be acknowledged, right? I actually think that the time that Ethan got swatted, they didn't say anything for a while. It was like because the FBI were involved and they were telling them the best course of action, and then they told him when it was safe to talk about it. But that's kind of the thing, is that Ethan's like has been swatted before, and those like and shitty like crazy things have happened to Ethan. Like, he said this the other day too. I think he has been through like crazy shit on the internet, and it's nothing like this. Like, this is completely fucking different. Also, in terms of like snark subreddits, there are so many snark subreddits, so many. But this is the only one that's like I've seen that is like a fucking cockroach. Like, I have followed it and followed it and followed it from anytime it dies, anywhere, it comes right back somewhere else. They just drag their community to different fucking places. They tried to bring it to the YouTube drama subreddit to the point where Ethan thought that they were actually involved because they had pulled it to the YouTube drama subreddit, and they were not. The YouTube subreddit actually just like told them to fuck off in terms of anything to do with Ethan or Hasan. So it's just weird. Like with Trishy Land, it was like that was their home, and then that got taken down. And then every other subreddit I've seen, they just don't go like. Did that start all with Trisha? The Snarkers? Or her like involvement in those communities? I think that they had been a thing. Yeah, I think that they had been a thing. But Trisha was the first one to be like, this has to stop. Like, she ended it. Yeah, no, it's fine. There's a delay with the stream. Yeah, I think I'm going to title this video,
And if you're interested
A Conversation, or something to that effect.
in a more detailed explanation.
No, I know. I know there's a delay. I can see it on my end too, on my stream.
Of that,
it's the stream delay. It's not even necessarily chat. The whole stream's delayed by like 20 or 30 seconds. That's what the button uses on H3 to like, that's how to extract shit like live, is because the stream is already on an automatic delay. And so they can use that and take back the last 30 seconds. It's pretty neat, actually.
Of that, I have.
Yeah. That's how they use it too. Well, I don't know if they use OBS, but they set their stream to a delay. I have like, I got like cool people that come in and talk to me sometimes. I don't really have a community. I have like 2 or 3 people that come in and chat. I don't know if that justifies setting. It would be cool to have a Discord. I don't know if that justifies setting up a Discord. That'd be sick. It'd make me feel like a real streamer.
Of that,
I think that what I do right now is just like mess around. I want to be like a. I just feel douchey if I'm like, yeah, I'm a real streamer, guys, when clearly I'm not. I don't know how to work anything. I don't even know how to work my laptop, but I try my best. I talk about things that interest me, and hopefully they interest other people. Oh. So, one thing, I appreciate that. I do appreciate the help. One thing I don't understand about these people is why they do this to themselves. Does he not understand that this makes him look so unhinged? This is his own title, his own thumbnail. He reposted it again to make some sort of point in a different video. Fascists tried to murder me. Who we got in here? Is that Ethan? He's so little. There he is. He tried to hide him. Is that Ethan back there? Who is that back there? I think that's Ethan. He's very tiny. But yeah, this is unhinged. What is this?
Of that, I have a whole long ass video going over the whole saga of those people doxing me, and these are the people who Ethan Klein appears to be working with now to try.
He does. Ethan has itty bitty hands.
Try and disseminate my dox.
I probably have bigger hands than Ethan does. No, it's probably the same size. I think he was the same size as Lena's hands. Me and Lena probably have the same size hands. She seems petite.
And disseminate my dox even further after their
as do Ethan's hands.
Previous attempts to dox me and get me killed failed. The information that Ethan Klein has been disseminating actually comes quite directly from the people who originally doxed me. He has been citing paid far-right doxer Drew Pavlu, who originally obtained this information from the Argentine government employees who illegally disseminated it from government databases. So yeah, the link is extremely direct. Ethan Klein seems to...
Oh, this guy gives me a headache. This is why I have not covered Badempanada up to this point. I'm like... yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that whenever him and Lena had the same sized hands, which is silly because she is very small. She's itty bitty. I think even like he said she was inching up, but I think that her fingertips came up like this much higher than his.
So yeah, the link is extremely direct. Ethan Klein seems to think that he can get away with doxing on YouTube, that he can literally disseminate information stolen from...
I'd like to refer back to... I already exited out, so it doesn't matter. But you guys remember when Badempanada was gloating about how much he loved doxing people?
Government databases illegally. This has, of course, resulted in me receiving tons of messages from his fans.
Everybody remembers that. By you guys, I mean all of the internet.
With vivid descriptions of just how they're going to use my personal information to kill me. Like this one, this one, this one, and this one. Precisely what Ethan Klein was trying to incite by spreading this. This man is so pathetically unable to...
You outright said go and find this man's address and and use it to go to his house. This is... yeah, but Ethan didn't tell them to do this. So, also, I don't think this is an Ethan Klein fan. There is no genocide in Gaza. He's trying to say that these people are H3 fans simply because they do not like him. Maybe a couple of them are, I don't know. This guy, though, that says that there was no genocide in Gaza, I really don't think that they are. Because even Ethan wouldn't say that. As much as they think that Ethan is a genocide supporter and a denier, I don't know how you can support something that you don't think happened. But he neither supports nor denies it. So, and neither do I, or I would gather to say like most H3 fans that aren't absolutely batshit. So, sorry, Badempanads. Or as I should say, Carl or whatever the fuck your name, George. He's just too curious. Curiosity gets you sued.
support and tell them politely, calmly, and in detail what he has been doing on his channel with links to specific timestamps and examples. His podcast can scarcely go a single episode without doxing someone and trying to sick his fans on them, and there is simply no way that he would be getting away with this if he wasn't being given special treatment from YouTube. Anyway, I'd like to end this video with Ethan Klein going on a minutes-long tangent about how his entire family got the parasite Giardia from what he implies was eating dog poop.
The next part is...
No, he fucking doesn't. Your code's so crazy. He said that his dog had... That says that he thought his kid had it. But he's allowed to speculate that he thinks his kids have the disease. He's allowed to say that. They didn't have it, by the way, so... Why even bring it up? They didn't have it. Good lord. Because you want to feel justified in doing something so crazy and illegal, like fucking trying to send CBS to take his kids away. And trying to send people to mass report fucking... Which is absolutely fucking crazy. This is what you were talking about earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this kid. We'll watch this. Good lord. Let's see. I can say it's a full clip, I think.
Audience knows precisely where the guy lives. This resulted in this guy receiving tons of death threats and his family members receiving death threats as well from the H3H3 community, all at Ethan Klein's command. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Here's the original clip.
Matching swastika adjacent tattoos. Men are
So the
being
problem
obsessed
is,
with you guys.
here's the problem. He's going through... He did not deserve all that. No, he did not. Here's the problem. Is that Ethan is going through Instagram. Is that Instagram chats? Let me just... Where is the fucking scroll bar? Oh, it's because I'm all the way over here. Okay. There's Noah. I'm trying to see... Well, like with Trevor, for instance. Like, I say... If Trevor's full name... Here, okay. Well, that's true. It's probably not real, but... Some people just use their names as their fucking profile name. I had my name as my profile name for a while when I was like casual observer. But that's like the key phrase, right? Casual observer, like you're a commenter. You don't expect your name to be used against you. So you don't expect to have to put that extra level of anonymity for yourself in, right? And so I don't think it was purposeful, Ethan doxing his name. I think it's more egregious than him doxing his location, though, because that was more of an AB bad, and that was not on purpose either. That was AB stating that he recognized where the truck was. Let's see. It wasn't, it was... was not. He was. I don't think that it was even intentional. I really want to word this carefully. That is crazy. That is crazy. So I don't think it was ever intentional that Ethan was even ever going to talk about this kid specifically. I think that he saw a bunch of fucking hate comments on this thread, and his intent was to go through this thread on the stream and to talk about it. He definitely shouldn't have said that shit about going and finding out where the kid works. Do I think he's being serious? No. Do I think that it fucking matters? Also no. Because he just shouldn't have said it. But I think he's an unserious man, and it gets him in trouble. It's why I think why a lot of people like to watch him and why he's entertaining is because he's so unserious, but fucking ass because he says stupid shit.
Obsessed with you guys when you only had 15K subs. Glad that's behind me. Enjoy hell. This guy's for real. Joe Coop. Look this guy up. Enjoy hell. He said enjoy hell.
Yeah. No, I mean, they
Yeah. I think that I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like cope or anything. I do think this is fucked up, I guess is why, and I still like Ethan, and I think that this is a fucked up thing to do. So I guess that's where, if you're noticing some pull, that's what the pull is. I think it comes from a place of anger, which is never good, and also no excuse. We need to watch the clip.
they think I'm actually the devil.
I feel like this one's real. We caught you, Joe. Public facing account.
Joe.
Okay, so that's what it is. That is so dumb. Ethan is using him as an example, which is fucking crazy, but he picked him at random, and unfortunately this person got it. He just became really hateful. When I was an H3 fan, I would give him the benefit, and then it just kept happening, and I couldn't look away anymore. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. The thing is that I'm not trying to look away. I agree that this probably shouldn't have happened, but that's kind of what I'm saying, is that he was made an example of because Ethan was getting so tired of, I think specifically, people saying such horrible things about Gila. And he was defending his wife and defending his kids, and I think that's when things started to get very pointed. Because it wasn't about him anymore. It was his family. And so this shit specifically, him getting mad, no, over the like him just like becoming like a messy bitch. I think he's always been a messy bitch. I don't think that's what this is. This is a different thing than him just being messy and silly. This is like he's taking his anger and his frustration out on the wrong person. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what the fuck this is. He had picked the wrong target. I think that it was a I don't remember him ever being on Facebook, but I think if I remember him, I think there was like a couple episodes or at least like a couple segments. I think it was segments. There's a couple of segments in a row where he went on this similar brigade, and I think that the second time, which you were referring to, I don't know if this is gonna help or not, but this is generally what I think it was. I think that it was, well, people are giving me so much shit and saying that I doxed this kid and that I was specifically went after this kid and was trying to like, let me just show what I was doing. Let me just like fucking, and like that, yeah, like don't do that. Like that's what everybody's mad about, guy. So everybody's mad about. He was like, he's trying to be like, see, it's not just him. I'm genuinely pissed and done with these people that are saying these things and treating me this way. And if you want to say these things and treat me this way, you can get it too. He was making an example of these people. It's poor judgment. Poor judgment. Should have just fucking kept with Badempanada. Fuck this guy. I don't like. And he's a public figure. He's a public figure, so he's fair game. Like I mean, I don't consider myself a public figure by any means, but I choose to post myself on the internet, so I would consider myself fair game as well. The reason why I don't get mad when people say shit to me. So, because at a certain point I ask for it, I'm on here.
If you wanted to be cute, let's see it. Nice mustache.
What I don't ask for though, is like personal attacks against my family and stuff. So that's when I think things get like different in terms of like the hate with Ethan. Oh, it is. It definitely is it's a bad call. Bad judgment call. For sure. I remember even thinking it at the time when I watched it. Yeah. Well, if you like somebody, it's easy to defend them no matter what. And I still will and I still like Ethan. I do. I think that he made a shitty call on this one though. I think this one could have required a little bit more forethought. So, but I also think, not that as an excuse again, but I think it comes from a place. I don't know if desperation is the right word, but he's done. Like he's reached his breaking point. I think this is when we've seen this. This is where it started for him to get very real, and I think he didn't snap, but he just got to the point where he just couldn't handle it anymore. And if he kept doing it over and over again, would it change my opinion on him? I think that it would depend on the context. Like if it was, I don't think that he should keep doing it for sure. I think that it should stop, and I think it already has stopped pretty much. But let's say that he did this in the context of it not being this serious harassment and hate campaign against him and him not going through what he has been going through and he's just doing it to be a piece of shit and an asshole. Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna watch him. I wouldn't agree with that. Like I said, I think this is like a pure he's also been on the internet so long that, like, unfortunately, things are going to happen. And so, if you like someone and there's like a scale, let's say. And also like how long they've been That's kind of what I was saying earlier. He is always on air. He is always on air. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that if he started editing himself again, that people would have less problems with Ethan. Unfortunately. I think it's true. I don't know if that, like, is a true colors thing or not. I don't think it is. I think it's... It's sick to think about. This is the dilemma I had with him. I can see where you were coming from. I can. Yes, he has been a public figure for 15 years now. Exactly. And there's been other things that he's slipped up on, like within those 15 years. But I mean, I think that anybody that's been on the internet that long is gonna have some fuck ups. I think it's just like on the fuck up scale. There's like people that have outright. There's worse and better things that people have done. You know. This one, I think specifically comes from a place of trying to defend his family and just being absolutely done and thinking that all of these people are out to get him and against him. And I understand that feeling. I do. And it's easy to let it get away from you, but you can't let you do shit like this. Because then like people that really don't deserve it like get harmed in the process, and that is fucked up. Again, I don't know if he shouldn't have said this shit about like go find where this person works, and like I really think that was all blowing smoke to try to fucking make an example out of him. He shouldn't have said all that. I think that him seeing that his name was on there was an opportunity for him to be like, look, there's his name, and then to make an example of him. It was poor timing, but I don't think he was trying to maliciously dox anybody. So he's going way overboard. And this
Strong entry.
And in the anywhere where there's like fucking random people getting involved that didn't do anything. I don't remember the second clip now that I think about it. I'll bring it up. But if it exists, I guarantee he brings it up.
Tree. Not exactly the Esteban, but halfway there.
He's not. Oh yeah.
Yes, he's a real guy.
Blocked him 'cause he's not showing up for me.
So this is Joe Coop. He left a message on Hila's Star David tattoo.
Oh.
He said, "I'm glad that phase is behind me. Enjoy."
Okay. That makes so much fucking sense. Alright. I'm not defending his behavior. And I'm also not talking shit about Hila either when I say this, but I will say that anytime I feel like recently, I mean, in terms of this like Israel-Gaza conflict, that Ethan has gotten outright nasty is over Hila, because people have gotten outright nasty with her. And when I said I wasn't talking shit about Hila, I just mean I'm not blaming her. Like, it's not her fault, but like people... Yeah, it makes sense that this was over Hila's tattoo. Ethan literally got a whole tattoo of Hila's face because of this incident, because of people berating her about her Star of David tattoo and being anti-Semitic about it. This is crazy. Why didn't we dox this person? I mean, don't dox anybody. Don't dox anybody. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. That was an absolute joke. That was a bad joke. But look at, what is this? This is dumb. Don't dox this person. You shouldn't have clicked on anybody's profile. That's fucking ignorant.
Phase is behind me.
They're not friends. They're not friends, actually, at all. Ethan started reacting to LoLcow Live because he thought it was funny, and then Keem started being Keem again and saying inappropriate shit. And saying inappropriate shit again, I think this time about women, and Ethan was like, oh, so he hasn't changed, and then, yeah. That actually happened recently. That was a recent one. It was because Keem was reacting to the wing situation. I actually talked about that in the beginning of this video. Keem was saying something about the wing situation and then said something really derogatory about women. And then Ethan and Olivia both were like, whoa. I guess Keem hasn't changed. So I think that they were just wanting to like LoLcow Live because it was funny. I thought it was really funny. Keem might have had something there. Like I said, you love him or you hate him. I mean, sometimes they make shit that you like than that you watch. But I genuinely do like Ethan, you know, like as a person, and I don't think that he's a bad person. Keemstar, I think, is a horrible person. He makes shit that makes me laugh, though.
Is behind me. Enjoy hell. Joe Coops.
Let me reread what you said. He literally said anti-Semitic things straight to his face, and kept a sentence for his fans to say to Ethan. Yeah, and then the whole thing with like calling Hila a horse was like really fucked up too. That was just about her teeth, though, I think. So, I guess you could say maybe it's anti-Semitic because of like if you're saying she has a big nose, I guess. All the harassment is getting to him. Exactly. Not an excuse, but it does. It sucks. It sucks. He needs to. I'm covering all this stuff because I think it really does matter, and like it matters to me, and I think that it's shitty what's happening to Ethan and his family. And I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just gonna take a while. And he's got to get some sort of civil litigation off his chest, like genuinely. Like even if it's Noah, Badempanada, somebody has to get some sort of justice for what Ethan and Tila and his whole family has been through over the past year. And then I think that he'll be good. I think that's why he finally just decided to go through with it and sue Noah for defamation. Somebody's got to pay, I guess. I think is where he's coming from, or else he's just not going to be able to cope. He's not going to be able to handle all the harassment. And at a certain, like, I get that part of it. I really do. Yeah. Keem told his fans on Twitter to send Ethan to unalive all his ethnicity. I'm only laughing because I'm not laughing. It's more of like an uncomfortable noise that I make. Or when I'm uncomfortable. Because that is, yeah. Keemstar's a piece of shit, dude. Fucking asshole. I think that for Ethan, it's more of like, Keemstar is like a public figure. He is somebody that can go after Badempanada, somebody can go after Denims. Noah, these people aren't. That's another reason why like he did the whole Snarkers lawsuit thing, and I think he's trying to prove to like the people that are. He just needs to try not to let it get to him, but I mean that's easier said than done. But I think he's trying to prove to the people that are harassing his wife that it's like, why is he so out for Hasan? It's a long story, but I think I know what you mean. You mean comparatively to Keem, right? think it's because Hasan is like, it's a lot more personal, right? Like, Hasan was a friend of his. He met his kids, he met his family, his mom, his dad. They were genuinely friends, right? Him and Keemstar were never friends, nor have they ever been friends. And I think it felt more like a personal hit, a personal attack from a friend. And also, Hasan's fans were really getting nasty, and Hasan refused to moderate. And I think that was the starting point for Ethan. Well, while they were friends, this happened. I think, and that's what started all this. Is like while they were still friends and in communication, Ethan was getting absolutely dog shit harassed by Hasan's community, and Ethan literally just asked him to go on stream, which like he just asked him to go on stream, and he was like, "Can you just tell them to like go a little easy?" And Hasan said something, but he also said essentially to his stream, he was like, "Listen, you guys are gonna do what you want to do. I can't stop you." Which, like, I guess, but you can though. It's your chat. Like, it's not moderating free speech to just moderate your chat and not let them say horrible shit about somebody you claim to be a friend. And when I say horrible shit, I don't mean like Ethan's he sucks. He's a poo poo doo doo head. Like, it's not like just insults and shit. Like, it's like fucking accusations and like lambasted accusations and like bullshit in Hasan's chat. And that was while they were friends. He says, yeah, now. Or no, he doesn't say that now. He did for a little bit. He said for them to chill. But literally all he was like, it's in his chat. It's one thing to be like, hey, calm down. It's another thing, like, when you see something, like somebody alleging something or saying something awful about Ethan in terms of, like, the genocide and anti-Semitic shit and things that can be construed as anti-Semitic, yeah, it's just like, yeah, you can moderate that. You can moderate that. Ethan also has Hasan's back on some points, I will say. Like with the whole CPS thing, Ethan makes that clear, even though it was Hasan's community. Actually, there's somebody in my chat that proved that themselves, that there are people in Hasan's community that do believe that and perpetuate that thought. They themselves did. They said that they weren't a snarker, and then I called them out and I said, okay, if you're not a snarker, then you must be from Hasan's or Denham's sphere, right? And then they said something that was very Hasan coded, and I was like, okay, so, but that's not Hasan's fault. That's his fans, right? But Ethan has said that it's like, it's not Hasan or his fans. It is his fans. I think that's something that he didn't have to say. That was a nice thing to lie about. Denham's is annoying as fuck. Nothing to apologize about that for. I fucking hate her. Like, regardless of the whole shit with Ethan, I fucking cannot stand her. She's awful. I've reacted so much to her shit, and it's like fucking brain rot numbing nonsense. It's fucking dog shit. I think that there's also been certain things that Hasan has said about Ethan that I think rubbed him the wrong way. And it's like he does like this grandstanding thing where he tries to act all high and mighty because he like doesn't stoop down to Ethan's level, but I don't think that's what it is. I think that he says things in a roundabout way. Basically says things without saying it, and it's like, I think you can just get to the point, you know. But he won't, because it makes him seem more impartial, more centered. So, and that's like his main pull in his audience, is that I think that Hasan, you can tell he holds a lot of himself back. And Ethan just doesn't. And that's what gets him fucking in trouble, you know. But you can tell that Hasan really just, he seems very fake. I think that's like why Ethan also, I don't think it makes him look mature. I understand why you think that. When I say holding himself back, I mean like, not even necessarily like with the crazy shit that Ethan says. Like, Ethan says some crazy shit, sure, but because he doesn't hold himself back, he also says like some genuine things that make people want to connect with him. Like, that makes Ethan seem more like a genuine person. To me, Hasan just kind of, to me, my personal opinion, Hasan seems like he is whatever anybody wants him to be. He seems like he's just putting on a show. Right, and I don't mean like the heated necessarily. Your chat's on there, so, but I was gonna read it out loud, but I don't have to. It's right there. I don't even necessarily mean like when someone's getting heated. I just kind of mean, he represents himself in a certain way that I think is bullshit. God, that is just like a really pointed way to say that, but I don't know how else to say it. He seems very hypocritical. Like, he seems like the kind of guy that, like, him and Noah Samson both. Not even, and I don't think, this is a trait that I think Badempanada doesn't have. Yes, he comes off as fake. I think this is a trait that Badempanada does not have. But, and fake is kind of like an understatement, and it's like less specific than I mean. I think that he fakes very specific things to garner the type of support that he wants. Like Noah and his, that was just an example with him specifically when I said Noah. I'm trying to explain it in a better way. I feel like I don't explain myself very well. Well, this is just an example. Frankly, I am not a communist, but I also do not care about communism or capitalism. I really don't. I don't feel that I am educated enough on the subject to have an opinion, but as an example of how Hasan could be considered fake, for the part of his audience that really cares about this, and those people do exist, like the part of his audience really, really does care about this, about him being a hypocrite in terms of how he pays his employees. I believe Ethan because first of all, it's a weird thing to lie about. I don't see why he would. And like, that's a weird thing to just make up off the top of your head. But Ethan says that at a certain point, Hasan looked at him and said, obviously don't say anything about my housekeeper. And that's because he doesn't pay her on an equal playing field, which he preaches all the time. that that employees should be paid on a percentage based off of the overall income of the company, right? Which is a belief that comes with communism. Like I said, I'm not very educated on the subject. I'm doing my best. But he believes this, and then he has a housekeeper that he denies having because he knows that it would be that he can't abide by his own rules. So he can't abide like what he thinks is right and fair to pay somebody, which he doesn't. I mean, it would be. I think that if this woman like is making him like gourmet meals and fucking cleaning his house to like she is the pinnacle of his business. Like if the backbone of his streaming relies on this lady cleaning his room, I truly do believe she absolutely does deserve a percentage in the company. Do I believe that that is a viable, workable solution and option? Probably fucking not. Probably not. I also don't run a business like that. So I think that's why he looked at Ethan and he said, obviously don't tell anybody about her. And then after they stopped being friends, Ethan said something, and Hasan still denies to this day and lets people say that the woman that Ethan saw was Hasan's mom, and Ethan was being racist, thinking that Hasan's mom was a Hispanic cleaning lady. And Ethan has said many times, he's like, Hasan knows that I have met his mother, and I know that that is not her. And Hasan didn't outright say, Ethan thinks that that's my mom, but he brought up the point to insinuate that that could be an option, that there's confusion somewhere. And it's like, no, the confusion is that you don't want to admit that what Ethan's saying is the truth. That you looked at him and you said, please don't say anything about this housekeeper, for obvious reasons. The obvious reason being it makes you look like a complete fucking hypocrite. Because you're fake as fuck. But that's just an example. Like I said, I really don't even necessarily have an opinion on the whole communist capitalism thing, but I have an opinion on people being hypocrites. I think it's shitty most of the time, especially depending on context, especially when there's like serious context like racism and things involved. So I hope that makes sense. I also kind of like, and this is like a personal thing, I don't even think Ethan has ever said this. He might have said something similar, but I don't remember. I feel like he's kind of like and Noah Samson as well. This one I know Ethan has said because there was a woman that came forward about Noah Samson I don't forget the word. It's not stealthing. Stealthing is when you say you're going to use a protection and you don't. From all I understand from the research I've done into it, it is real. I mean, but I don't. Also, I was not there, so I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. It's weird for Ethan to just make that entire fucking story up out of the blue. Hasan wants to say that Ethan made that story up because at the time when it happened, Ethan, and a separate situation that I don't even think he covered these things on the same episode, but in a separate situation, Ethan was sued by his own housekeeper. Right, I wouldn't care if he had a maid that was paid hourly either. But the insinuation is that he would pay her, yeah, and he did, and he won't pay her that because, well, that's why he's lying. That's why he would be lying, is because he has preached and preached and preached that paying her hourly would be what's the right word? Immoral, I guess. I don't think that's exactly the right word that I'm looking for, but that paying her an hourly would not be fair because of how much work she puts in towards the company, that every employee basically should be paid a general percentage from the company. It's a communist belief system. Right. Having a vision of socialism and abiding by it is a whole other thing. I get that. But you can, if you didn't think that you should abide by it, why lie about it? You know what I mean? Also, it is your company, and you could easily abide by it. Like, it's not like there's nothing stopping you from running your company how you say companies should be ran, so just do that. But even if, let's say that that's too much to ask, and that might be, so let's say that is too much to ask, why lie about it? You know? Most of his audience wouldn't care. Some of them would, though. And I think that he cares about what those people in particular think, because he is very politically activated. Meaning the people that watch him for more rounded and less pointed beliefs, he appreciates. And of course he appreciates all his viewers, I'm sure. But I feel like there is a certain kind of viewer that he probably likes hearing the opinions of, and I would say that that's people that hold very strong political beliefs, much like him. And he knows that, I think he's worried that those people might have some sort of back and forth with him that he can't hold his own footing on, and it might make him look ignorant on certain topics that he doesn't want to look ignorant on. Oh, no. I wouldn't even consider what we were doing anything that to be garnered a winner. I would think it was a productive conversation. But we can call it a draw. No, I don't. I think that was a good conversation to have. I really do. It made me not rethink some things, but reevaluate how Ethan acts under certain levels of pressure. And yes, it's always good to get other perspectives on things. Oh, I probably need to remake that thumbnail tonight and just try to like redo all this. Oh, I'm missing some of my videos on this anyway. I don't know what the fuck happened. Did I accidentally exit out? Okay, so I'll have to redo that anyway. I'll have to set that up again. Oh no, you're fine. It's mostly because I got off topic because I was silent for 20 minutes. The chatter reaction I think is great. I don't think that that's a problem. It's just the fact that I was fucking muted for some reason. And also my tabs are disappearing, but that was also probably my fault. I would say both of them was probably something I did. No, you're not. No, it's good. He's good to talk about this kind of stuff. Especially with people that aren't hateful. Because the other people that I have had interactions with that have had the opposite opinion of me on this have been not very nice. So I guess we can just do Badempanada today. And I can do, oh fuck. People are probably gonna get on that Adam shit quick. The Ghost Adventure shit's been happening. For a little bit now. She just went to trial. Basically the whole shit with that is, and I'll cover it some other time, like in its full. I have like receipts from their TikTok and stuff before all this happened. They honestly, like, if you just watched it and you didn't know the context of like what happened and like the story behind them, you would think they were a sweet, like really sweet, cute couple. It's especially Aaron. Aaron seems like a really nice, down to earth guy. I need to start one. I've been trying to stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, alternate Sundays. But I have not been keeping with that very well. I've done it this week so far. I did a stream Tuesday, today's Thursday. So if I do Saturday and maybe Sunday, then I will keep to it this week. And that's pretty good. I also need to set up my Etsy shop. It's 12:15 in the morning where I'm at. I usually stream at like 8 or 9, but I'm trying to shoot for earlier. Yeah, I stream late. It's because there's not a lot of other people on right now, and so it's easier. Yes. Indeed. Yeah, I try to usually stream either 8 or 9 EST Eastern. So I don't know what that is in Western. I could look it up, but I should start including that. I put Eastern Standard Time, but I don't put what it would be in Western. Yeah. About 5 p.m. for you. Which isn't bad. That's pretty good. If you haven't heard about the Ghost Adventure stuff, it's pretty crazy. I was hoping I could get to it today, but I'll try to get to it Saturday maybe. Essentially, one of the hosts from Ghost Adventures, I'm gonna say Ghostbusters like a fucking idiot. Essentially, one of the hosts from Ghost Adventures. Yeah, yes, probably. I would like that. I like long nights, short days, but she essentially put a plot in to do a murder for hire on her husband, which is Aaron from Ghost Adventures, and he's a super cool guy. She shouldn't have done that. That was bad. He seems so nice. Like, I don't understand why she would fucking do that. Because even, like, and she seems normal. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, the videos of them together, she seems fucking normal. Like a normal person that wouldn't message a convicted killer to try to murder her husband. The guy that she messaged was convicted of killing his entire family because he was obsessed with a webcam model, and he kept running out of credit cards to pay her with so he could keep talking to her. So he kept killing his family members to take their credit cards and talk to her. And she watched a documentary about this and then decided, I should probably reach out to him and ask him if he could kill my husband or find somebody to kill my husband. And then did that. So, isn't that nuts? I'm laughing because it's actually fucking crazy and she should go to prison forever. But that kind of thing only gets you like 15 years at most, usually. So she will be gone for a little over a decade, and then we'll have to have her back in the community. Yay. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And then this Adam 22 stuff is also crazy, but not nearly as. That's why I put it behind it, so it'd be kind of like a, not a palate cleanser, but you could get a little bit of a reprieve from the heaviness. This, I don't know what this is about. I had this pulled up. This person is talking about Badempanada like a year ago. Yeah, I have a lot of heavy topics. So sometimes I do lighter stuff, but it's mostly the heavy shit, to be honest. I guess that's not true. I covered the Andrew Schultz. That was fun. I do some fun stuff. Just feels like right now it's all like P. Diddy and fucking negative shit, man. It just feels like it's all it is right now. It sucks. There's nothing fun to cover right now. It's all sad. Even even covering LoLcow is sad right now. It's so shitty. Used to, it was just like a fun way to. Yeah, I know some. I like more, yeah, like psychological thrillers. Not necessarily horror, but I like things like Severance. Severance is the tits. I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of Let's Hear 'Em. Really, I just like, I used to like Ghost Adventures before I knew it was fake, and I still like Ghost Adventures. Like, if you watch clips of Aaron being a silly, goofy guy, retrospect now, it's not as fun because somebody tried to kill him, but he's still alive, and we can celebrate how great of a guy he is being still alive. I've heard of that. I've heard of Haunting of Hill House. I've never seen it. Oh, that's gonna get me
We got 3 cameras here. We're gonna be there watching you. Go Go in there, okay? We rowdied them all up. Thanks, man. No problem. That doorway right there leads into the fun. We're only doing this because you have this great gift of attracting them. Don't come back until we tell you.
Dude, I'm all alone, man.
I don't care, go. Come on.
Aaron, use this camera. When you go through this, switch it off. You're our night vision. Good luck, man.
Get us some evidence, bro. We'll be watching you,
They
okay?
always, Aaron's thing is that they always send him out by himself to go mess with the ghosties. He's a funny guy though, and he's silly and he's goofy, and she's horrible. And it's really disturbing how normal she seems. It's really disturbing how normal she seems. Fuck it. I was gonna say let's get into it, but I don't know if I should. I've already like said the whole fucking story, god damn it. I don't know. We'll watch one. So you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know which one this one is.
I am ready. Yes, I'm rolling. Oh my God.
Sorry about the quality.
Did you hear that? Stop! Dude! I don't get it.
Watching these clips is like being in a different dimension. Because like look how normal they look. Of a couple they are. That's so weird to me. That like all of that crazy is going on back there and you can't even tell. Can't even tell on her face. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. They were literally just sitting on a couch watching a true crime documentary about this guy that was obsessed with a cam girl, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to him. What? I wonder if it's like some parasocial thing that she has going on. Like, I wonder how she met Aaron.
Ghost pose. You're always on TikTok watching Disney stuff.
Of course.
Oh, it's making me miss Disney.
I miss Disney.
Oh, best ride ever.
They want to go back to Disneyland, I think. That's where they got married. And she's like scrolling through TikToks and she's like watching a bunch of stuff about the Haunted Mansion because they got married on the Haunted Mansion. And he's like, oh, you're always watching Disney stuff. That makes me want to go back to Disney. So that's the thing, is that there was no accounted infidelity until she met this random fucking dude. Like she reached out to him and they were like they started talking, like her and this person that killed his entire family. They started talking romantically, and then they started putting in this murder for hire plot. So, to my knowledge, that's the only infidelity involved in the entire story. Which, like, you think something would have happened before that.
Okay, I'm recording. What do you want to say?
I think I know what happened to all your hair.
What the fuck? Why?
It's all these years of ghost hunting, it got scared off.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
This is literally like a year, if not like 6 months before everything happened. Some of those videos were. Kind of reminds me of that Chris Watts famous trial. Even Chris Watts seemed a little unhinged at times. I feel like you could tell that he was like a narcissist like behind his eyes. With her, it's like so weird. I don't know what it. Maybe it's because she's a woman. I hate to like, not like in a misogynistic way, but like maybe it's because like maybe I'm being biased, I guess is what I'm saying. Because she just seems so regular. I mean, being biased in like the before, like when she just seems normal. Chris Watts, I feel like always seemed like kind of weird. She's clearly not normal. She's clearly unhinged. Oh, thank you. I forget the artist's name is down here. It's cut off because of the menu bar. But I didn't just steal your artwork. I also think it's very cute. That's why I used it. Is the unicorns doing things with the narwhals? If I could. Well, I'll probably cover that in more detail some other time. I just wanted to go over it for a second. Okie doke. I'm probably gonna end stream anyway. And I will okie doke. I will probably be back on Saturday night, I would say. Maybe tomorrow, but I doubt it. So either okie doke. I need to get it figured out. I'll figure it out. No, you're fine. I get lost on tangents anyway. It's very easy for me. I would do it if there was nobody to talk to. That's just something I do. So don't feel bad. It wasn't you. It's a me. It's a me thing. Well, peace. And I will see everybody next stream. It was nice getting to talk to you. It was nice getting another opinion on things. I really do appreciate that. Okie doke. Bye.